Kolping is a family.
For Kolping, it takes both sides, religious and developmental activities together.
It's always about helping people to help themselves, to empower them to earn by their work sufficient income, and to build secure livelihoods. Kolping International demonstrates today that we are one world, that we all live in the same world, and that we should use this one world as a chance to support and help each other. The headquarters of Kolping International in Cologne. Founded in the mid-19th century by Adolf Kolping, the father of the journeyman, this Catholic association assisting the socially disadvantaged has meanwhile been active in development cooperation for 50 years. Its approach, a value-based reduction of poverty. Kolping International is like a colorful bouquet of very different flowers. Adolf Kolping once said, "The needs of the times will teach you what to do, and they must be met in different parts of the world, meanwhile in more than 60 countries." It's an essential part of Christian religion to center God in our life while keeping an eye on human dignity. We must do our utmost to promote the dignity of each individual and to help people live a decent life. 50 years ago, those who were in charge at the time said at the International Convention, "The good ideas we have come up with, and which made so much positive development possible, these ideas are worth being spread worldwide in a professional way." This led to the decision to go to Brazil first and to set up structures to start Kolping work there. A fruitful beginning. Today, Kolping is active in 16 countries in Latin America. Like here in Piauí in the northeast of Brazil, a region where it seldom rains. For 20 years, Kolping has helped people to build cisterns. Thanks to many donations of Kolping members in Europe, it was possible to build more than 2,000 of these drinking water reservoirs. In many areas, people were now able to grow vegetables, which helped them to survive and to make a living. Everything changed when Kolping helped us to get clean water. Families can now produce their own food, ecologically and without using pesticides. Kolping's community radio gives a voice to young people in the region. Youth work plays a central role in creating opportunities for a strong civil society. Local Kolping families also care about the needs of indigenous people. They help them to enforce their rights and make them feel accepted as an integral part of society. In Piauí, there is even a bank that issues its own currency to keep money in the local business cycle and to give all people a chance to get a loan, an exceptional idea. This is what makes our work so special. Kolping International has always been courageous enough to start something new. There is this very unique Kolping spirit. Adolf Kolping used to refer to this as Tüchtigkeit, an obsolete German word for great diligence. It's certainly true that Kolping members love to chat and talk, but they also pitch in to help and get things done. By the end of the 70s, Kolping expanded to the African continent. Whether it is about improving cultivation methods or running training courses in commercial kitchens, our focus is put here on rural development and vocational training. In numerous training centers, young, unskilled people are provided with education and training to be successful in their efforts to find a job. It is always about strengthening abilities and creating opportunities. Kolping training programs want to empower people to break the cycle of poverty. There is plenty of commitment.
My future plan is to start my own business, but the first thing which I need to get more skill.
But when I heard of the program, I had to come and join. It has helped me so much.
Computer classes in the cities, allocation of goats and production of eco-friendly fertilizers. Kolping stands for diversity. Here in Burundi, agricultural training programs are not only about increasing crop yields. Small-scale farmers also learn simple techniques to adapt to climate change. It often takes very little effort to get people started, like when we provide 3 goats, and the technical know-how people need to produce fertilizer. The number of goats will grow. Know-how will grow, and there will be less misery and less poverty in the world. Helping people to make a better living is one aim we have at Kolping, but it is not our ultimate goal. Whenever we design a project, whenever we get started, we want people to seek new horizons once they are better off, and to become engaged in the church, in society, and for the common good. Taking another step by going to Asia became the next milestone in the history of Kolping International. Meanwhile, India has become the second largest Kolping organization right after Germany. Here, women benefit in particular from the strength of the community. At Kolping, they learn to assert themselves and that they have rights. This makes them strong. We learn so much here. And we have so much fun together. Here we feel free to be who we are. This new self-confidence motivates women to get things changed. Many of them have started their own business. They open a little store, produce food, or they join Kolping savings groups. And many women are also prepared to accept responsibility for others. For instance, in a village parliament. We try very hard to motivate people to volunteer because we know that we need an active civil society. We need proactive people who never lose sight of the common good to make communities function. We know this from our own history, and we see this also in many other countries. Sustainable development is possible only if there is a strong civil society. The fall of the wall, the fall of the Iron Curtain 30 years ago finally made it possible for us to return to Central and Eastern Europe, to countries where Kolping existed before World War II, and where we were able to resume our professional work. And then in 1990, interestingly enough, on Good Friday, we received a letter or a postcard which said, "After 50 years of silence, the Kolping family Prague is back." And it turned out that in all those years under communist rule, this Kolping family had continued to exist as a club of garden plot holders whose members were meeting on a regular basis. In Central and Eastern Europe, Kolping societies have made a substantial contribution to social change in the past 30 years. For example, in Ukraine. Here, Kolping helps internally displaced persons to settle down again. These young women fled from the war in eastern Ukraine. In Ivano-Frankivsk, they want to find a new home. The local Kolping family offers them training in various trades, such as cosmetician. For Anna, this was the chance for a new start. The training we received in the East is often useless for us here. Because in this region there are more jobs in the service sector than in industry. This training not only helps us find a job and feed our families, but also contributes to the integration of internally displaced persons. Kolping members are often motivated to start a project when they learn about the personal fate or experience of individuals in their area. Katarina Ostrovska realized that the Ukrainian government is doing very little to help people like her son, who has an autistic disorder. Supported by her local Kolping family, she set up an autism support center in Lviv. This project creates new opportunities for people with autism. They are no longer locked away somewhere, but they can work and feel like they're a part of society and live a normal life. In the past, everything was controlled by the state. Now people have to learn about civic engagement and to be self-reliant. People were kind of used to the fact that someone would come and solve all problems. Many generations grew up with this way of thinking. And then it is, of course, hard when all of a sudden you are free to act on your own and to create opportunities. One specific feature of Kolping development work is partnership work at European level. Fundraising events or action days, such as the one here in Fulda. Volunteering for the most vulnerable in this world and being part of a worldwide network of solidarity is unique. Nearly all diocesan associations have a partner country which they support and raise funds for. But what is even more important is that there are regular exchange visits where people learn a great deal from one another. That's a typical feature of KOLPING International. Kolping is about connecting generations and about connecting people from different continents. And of course, we are all connected with our Kolping brothers and sisters all over the world in the spirit of Adolf Kolping. It is great to see that these are not people who are meeting by chance, but they consider themselves true sisters and brothers who experience a strong family spirit in a very positive and cordial sense. His ideas and values unite the members of his association.
This
becomes particularly evident when I have the chance to welcome people from around the world here in the Minorite Church. For them, it is often a unique opportunity to visit Adolf Kolping's tomb. For them, Adolf Kolping is a member of the family, another father, a brother who adds an enormous value to their life.